Good afternoon, Wilfred. My expectation simply is that this gets passed out of the House with vast majority of Democratic votes, some Republicans, some of which are high profile and not. It goes over to the Senate, where Senator McConnell is saying that he's not going to bring the Senate back before January 19th. So whatever action, and Trump is out on the 20th, and President-elect Biden becomes president, and then Congress will have to weigh whether or not it's worth the candle to try to work through the murk of impeaching ex-presidents and whether they want to take the time and the effort to do that. There's a lot of talk today that they'll still want to do that. My suspicion is that, I think of this as 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. 3 days from now, they'll still want to. 3 weeks from now, they probably won't want to, but they'll still say they're interested. 3 months from now, we'll have forgotten it ever happened. So this particular drama of this week, not the impeachment, but the back and forth about it. So I think it's a tempest in a teapot. It's a very serious matter, but the back and forth about this, I think, is going to be forgotten.
Terry, oh, sorry, I thought Sarah was coming in there. I'll follow up and say, how quickly do you think we'll see policy action then instead from the Democrat administration? And will we only get one stimulus bill linked to COVID relief as opposed to multiple over the next year or so?
I think on COVID relief, the COVID stimulus, I think the jury's still out on that. The president-elect is making some noises, and his people are making some noises that they may be interested in working on a standalone bill that's more targeted and less all-encompassing than the last one attempted to be, and that they want to do that in a bipartisan manner. And I will tell you, I think the politics of that are very smart, and I think the substance is very smart too, because that will get relief to people much quicker than ceding the ceding the negotiations to congressional Democrats the way it was done in 2020. And it'll be targeted, and the Biden administration will be off to a very good start. I think if that's the way they go, they will have learned the lesson of 2009 when they put together a large, completely partisan stimulus that had the result of letting the Republicans back up off the mat and being a vibrant opposition party again. If Biden wants to send a bipartisan message, that's a terrific way to do it.
The Republicans that are opposing the impeachment are arguing, Terry, that this just makes matters worse, that it further inflames tensions and that it further divides our country. Do you agree with that? And if so, is that going to impact any of this legislative agenda that we're talking about and just the general mood on Capitol Hill?
I think it does, and I'm not trying to engage in whataboutism or talking about who might have the better argument back and forth. There has been an awful lot of inflammatory, divisive rhetoric over the years from both sides. My 2 cents is that they ought to be chastened enough to try to stop and use the opportunity of a new presidency to refocus on the issues that matter and moving the country forward. I think that's certainly the message that the business community is trying to send in holding back campaign contributions for a while in one way or another. I think they ought to do that. Instead, unfortunately, what I see is too many members of both parties trying to play to their bases instead of trying to do something that transcends the moment. As a citizen, as a political person, I think that's unfortunate. From a market perspective, I will say that it underscores that there is going to be an awful lot of gridlock. My contention has been for some time and continues to be that you don't really have 2 political parties in Washington. You have 4 factions from left to right: progressive Ds, centrist Rs, conservative Rs. And they will work in their self-interest in coalitions to either move things forward or not move things forward. And it'll take a real bipartisan effort from the president-elect, I think, to try to bust through that. Because otherwise, what you end up with is fiscal continuity, in the sense that the government continues to be funded and whatnot. You end up with continued COVID, whatever it takes, but you don't end up with much of anything else.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.